What's up, y'all? It's your girl Sang, and today we're going to be reacting to a video from Ruslan titled, "Is This What Mega Churches Are Really Like?" If you about to show anything bad, then yes, that is exactly what they like. But let's go ahead and get on into it.
If you took a friend to the local mega church in your area, would they walk away with an accurate representation of Christianity? Will they hear the gospel being preached? Will there be pathways for them to get plugged in and discipled? The truth is, many mega churches have become big business, generating revenues into the 10s, 20s, and even $90 million annual budgets. Some have even applied for PPP loans. And many churches don't look very different than regular corporations, leveraging social media and Facebook ads, giving you a free gift for your first time attending, and even plugging you into a sophisticated ClickFunnels, making you feel welcome and safe, while at the bottom of the funnel, creating a conversion or a transaction. But on this video, we're gonna be looking at if this is a mischaracterization and a caricature of megachurches, and we're gonna be examining what it would look like if megachurches were honest in their marketing, specifically in an infomercial.
Ruslan.
You guys know that I love some megachurches, and I'm not a fan of other megachurches, but
just so y'all can know my opinion, I don't like mega churches at all. I don't like prosperity churches. The ones where people claim they could speak gibberish, which is like angel speak or whatever. All of those leaves a very bad taste in my mouth, and I think that's due to how I saw things coming up in my childhood, and it really turned me off from the faith. And I got back into it recently, and the church I personally go to is very small. They only talk about, let me show y'all. They only talk about this, the Bible. Y'all see this right here? That's all they talk about. They don't be trying to hit you with what they think or what they believe. There's no collection plates being passed around. It's just this, the good old word of the Bible. We all read it together. That's what I like. So, back to the video, but I just want to let y'all know.
We're gonna come back to that thought later. I wanna highlight a fellow creator that sent me this video. And if you didn't know, a lot of my ideas for these videos actually come from you guys. You could always DM me on Instagram. I don't reply to all the messages, but I do see all the messages. And this video was sent to me by a friend of the channel who's in all the chats. I wanted to highlight his creative body of work and also give you guys some of my thoughts on this. How much of this is accurate? How much of this is kind of a caricature? And hopefully further this conversation around megachurch pastors. Okay, so this is a channel called This Is Salvation. He is usually hanging out in the chats. I think he is here right now, and sent me this video he put together. If American Christianity had an infomercial or a commercial, this would be
it. Had an infomercial.
Brilliant, 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 brilliant title. Let's jump in.
Are you tired of waking up for Sunday service after a night of fun? Not really an avid Bible reader? Maybe you still see the point in prayer, or perhaps you're not ready to let go of those sinful habits. Well, say no more. Come on down and try out American Christianity. You'll love our lightweighted, progressive, non-convicting TED Talk sermons. Bibles.
Yo.
Okay.
Yo.
Off the rip. What do you guys think? Is this accurate?
Yeah, this is very accurate so far. You know what's crazy? I just saw a video where they turned a church into a nightclub. Literally, they was in a church and they was playing like Kirk Franklin. You know what? Let me see if I can find it real quick. Cause if I can find it, y'all gonna be laughing so hard. Church is now nightclub. It was wild. This looked crazy. It was a bunch of black people. I had randomly scrolling on Twitter and I saw the video. Ah, man, I would never. The fact that there's a lot of videos talking about church nightclubs, though. What is this? The church nightclub, Denver Co-Latinas. That's all right. We just gonna get back to the video, but
you don't want to wake up early for church. You don't want to be convicted of sin. Come on down for like, What do you guys think? Off the rip, so far, is this accurate? Is it not accurate? It gets better, friends. Watch this.
It's accurate.
Not anymore. Just follow our Instagram page for all your theological needs.
Just follow our Instagram page for all of your
Yo.
theological needs. Yes.
Philosophy is come as you are and leave as you are. Nothing is required of you. Check this out. Discipleship, not required. Evangelism, not required. Repentance, not required. All that we ask is you stream our worship album on Spotify once a week. It's that easy.
Whoa, hold on. This man sending. See, initially, this was generic. You know, it's like, just make it just. Then he starts sending specific shots. Let's pull this back. The shot at Elevation Worship here.
Not required. Repentance, not required. All that we ask is you stream our worship album on Spotify once a week. It's that easy.
Wow.
Shout out to Elevation Worship. Amazing.
Fruitful, multiplying, got kids? No problem. Drop them off Friday night at youth group and we'll have them being professional dodgeball players by the end of senior high. And
have them be professional dodgeball players? Yo, in Vista, California.
Yo, did he have the Ether beat just dropped right now? Okay, real stuff.
There's a church called North Coast, and they literally blew up their young adults ministry by having the largest dodgeball gathering. I'm talking like 500 to 600 people would show up and play dodgeball. And then my buddy Jeff Morris took over and completely shut that whole thing down. But the fact that like dodgeball is such a big thing in church is really funny. So he's really pointing out some very specific things that I've seen churches in real time do.
They'll love our Avengers Bible reading plan. But wait, there's more. Don't want to get wet during baptism? Don't really see an importance of being a part of a church family? Don't even feel like showing up to church at all? No problem. We welcome you to come out and try our new Metaverse church plan. Whatever you...
Yeah.
What?
Metaverse church plan. This is a direct shot. At Life Church, fam. LifeChurch.tv, Craig Rochelle. I think they have a Metaverse church plan. So you don't even have to go to church. You can just...
A Metaverse church plan? Okay, hold on. No, we gotta look this up too. This is called, he said Life Church, right? Metaverse building plans, online ministry. It says bring your local church and the hope of Jesus into the metaverse. Here it is, Life Church in the metaverse. Here we go. Make it a little bit bigger for y'all. In Life Church, we do anything short of sin to reach people who don't know Christ. To reach people no one is reaching, we'll do things no one is doing. What is the metaverse and why is Life Church? They really have a church in the metaverse. The best way to experience the metaverse is with the headset. See, this is what if we just take church out of it. One of the things I had spoke about before with my boyfriend, this was like months ago. I was like, we're going to get to the point where it's going to be so normal. Like society is going to see it as normal as you're just in a room with the headset glued to your eyes. And that's going to be life. And if you are like me, you just don't care for VR like that. Personally, it makes me sick. I have something, I don't know why it makes me sick when I look around in VR, but I think it's because it's like, I think my body's rejecting it. I think that's what it is. But it's going to get to that point where everybody is so like attached to the metaverse because everything's going to be on there that people like me who are just like outside and wanting to go on hikes and everything and talk to people in real life, we're going to be looked at as the weird ones. And the reason I got into that whole conversation, some guy put a video on YouTube where he lived with his VR headset on. I think it was like a week or two straight or a month straight. It was for a long period of time to see if he can do it. And it was weird. Like his girlfriend and parents kept bringing food to his room so he could eat. And then the way he had it set up, I guess due to like the camera, I don't even know how it was done. But instead of seeing a game, he could see his room, but everything was like in this weird grayscale. So he couldn't even see color while he was actually in his room. He couldn't take the headsets off. And he had a cord long enough where he was able to like go in the bathroom and like do like some bird bath washes and brush his teeth and use the bathroom, but he couldn't really like shower or anything. And he would sleep with the headsets on. He'd get up, eat, and then he'd cut a game on, and then everything would go like into color, and it would look like this. We gonna get to that point where like, if you're not into that, you're gonna be the weird one. But let's back to the video.
You could just be in the metaverse and not get baptized, not get wet, not leave your house in person. This is, yeah.
That's weird.
We have it. However you want it, we got it. No need to count the cost. No need to devote your time. Absolutely no commitment required. Just live your life. And if you call within the next 20 minutes, we'll give you 2 free tickets to our live worship YouTube cookie cutter copycat video recording session. Absolutely.
Live YouTube worship cookie cutter.
Free. What are you waiting for? Exactly what you've been searching for. Make the call now. You have nothing to lose except your soul in eternity. American Christian.
Yo!
Facts.
Except your soul in eternity. Okay, so I thought that was a hilarious video, but this raises some interesting questions, is it not? How much of this is accurate of the majority of megachurches in America? I want to hear from you guys.
A lot of it is
this
accurate.
Something that is indicative? If you were to go down to your local megachurch in your area, would this kind of be the vibe? Obviously, there's some comedy here. Obviously, this is a caricature, but it raises some really interesting points in terms of entertainment value, over engagement into community, with regarding to comfort, over teaching theology, with regarding to, hey, let's make everybody feel as welcoming as possible, versus let's tell you the truth, let's help you know the blind spots in your life, the very things in your life that are sinful, that are offensive to a holy God. Hey, let's get you just to feel as comfortable as possible, versus let's disciple you, which is going to be uncomfortable. There's so many parallels here that I see a reality of, and it's not to dunk on megachurches, because I don't believe all megachurches are this way. Some of you guys may not know this, but Charles Spurgeon technically had a megachurch. Okay? A megachurch is anything that's classified as 2,000 or more people. Okay? So that's a very small percentage of churches, because the average church, believe it or not, in America is only about 75 people. That's actually crazy to think about. But megachurches are 2,000 or more people. And so the question becomes, are there megachurches that aren't like this? And is this megachurch culture, meaning like, is this a byproduct of having a big church, or is this something that seeps into the growth tactics and the pragmatic side of wanting to be a people pleaser to an extent? So there's all kinds of megachurches that I don't think fall like this at all. There's churches like Matt Chandler's church. There's churches, John MacArthur's church is technically a megachurch, and they're nothing like this, right? I mean, they're probably the opposite of this intentionally because they're hostile to megachurches. John Piper's church, I could list off many churches that are nothing like this. And so I don't think the issue is the size of the church, because you could have a great church. I mean, Jesus would gather massive crowds, right?
That's very true. I'm in the book of Mark right now, and 2 stories in there, Jesus fed a following that was with him for a couple of days of 5,000, and he fed another following of 4,000. So with what he said, I mean, that would be a megachurch by today's standards. I think it's just how they do things and portray, and it's all about money and this glitz factor of like, oh, look at these lights and we're having big concerts and stuff. It's just a turnoff to me. Like, and I think it's a turnoff to most people, but yeah.
The issue, I think, is the way you're attempting to get people in. And I also don't think there's anything inherently wrong with wanting to have a comfortable environment, wanting to have, I don't know, AC or comfortable chairs or a great youth ministry or good music. Those things in and of themselves aren't bad. The bad side is when those things become the main reason why people come, and not to be the local ecclesia, local gathering of the saints, worshiping Jesus, doing the sacraments of the church, so on and so forth. I also think there's this new emerging class that's kind of weird, which is the mini mega church, where they're not 2,000 people, but they function as if they're a mega church. They function as if they're over 2,000 people, and that can create some weird things, because now they're trying to do the things that a mega church like Elevation does or a mega church like Lakewood does, but they're doing them on a shoestring budget, which oftentimes can run volunteers into the ground and can honestly make it really hard for people who are a part of the core trying to serve that church.
See, I thought he was going to say something different, but so I'm very new coming back into like the faith. So without getting too deep into my history, growing up, my mom was Baptist, my dad was Jewish, and our household wasn't really religious to begin with. So me, like most people, lukewarm religious person at best, atheist at worst, right? So for the past 4 or 5 weeks, I've jumped back into it pretty hard. But leading up to that decision of me jumping into it 2 months prior, I literally had just been hearing scripture from the New Testament and the Torah all day, every day. So I just decided, like, you know what? I'm going to jump full on, head on into Christianity and just go with it. And making that decision, I was like, I need to find a church. Now, I knew off rip, based off childhood, I wanted to be non-denominational. I just wanted to go somewhere where all they do is talk about the Bible. And I was able to find, off my first try, which was like extremely lucky, a very small church not too far from my house where literally all they talk about is the Bible and worshiping Jesus, and cool, that's that. There's no collection plates, there's no asking for money, there's none of that. I told my friend that I was looking for a church, and I was already planning to go to the church that I'm with now the very next day for the first time. And she was like, why don't you come check out my church? Now, her church is like 45 minutes from my house, so already that was a no in my mind. But I wanted to hear her out, because if it was good, I was going to go. So she told me what it was, the name of it, and if I wanted to go with her, let her know. I stopped talking to her for a minute, because we were talking by text. I look it up. Tell me why the first thing when you go to their website, the very first thing is, this is how to donate money to us. And it's like, you could do it on Sunday service. We put an envelope underneath every chair. You could do it by putting money in a collection plate. We have a PayPal. We have a Cash App. We have a Zelle. Why is that the first thing I'm seeing clicking the homepage? And it was big too. Like, if you look at the screen right now, see my mouse? Follow my mouse. Boom. The box was that. It was literally the first thing you saw. Nothing about Jesus, nothing about God, nothing about the Bible, nothing about service times or anything. That was literally the first thing you saw. And then when you scroll down, it showed how big the church was on the inside where they do the sermons, lights, big speakers on the side. And I was like, nah, I'm good. I'm good. So I told her, I was just like, oh, it looks like your service times conflict with my service times. In reality, they didn't. I could have actually went to hers after doing mine. And I was like, nah, that's not for me. And then I ended up going to my church instead that day. And I loved it. And I've been going ever since. Like, I go every week. And I love it. It's such a good community up there. And I feel like, because that's not a mega church, but I feel like that's how they were trying to act. And it just completely turned me off.
So, I think there's some tension there. I think, in my opinion, from everything I'm watching and engaging with you guys in the chat and just Christian YouTube community in general, I think less is more now. I think people genuinely want less. Yes. I think people genuinely want a simpler, this is going to sound weird, minimalistic approach to some of this stuff. And I think that's a good thing. What are the main things? Let's keep the main things the main things.
Yes.
Solid teaching that's rooted in Scripture. The sacraments of the church, corporate gathering and worshiping, the local ecclesia, worshiping, right? Some sort of children's ministry. It's important if you want to take kids to church, if you got babies, so on and so forth. I don't think there's anything wrong with a good children's ministry. I think those things are good, right? A relatively, reasonably comfortable environment. Your venue doesn't have to look like the House of Blues or like a weekend concert, right? It could just be nice. There could be some lights. There could be some, maybe even some haze, right? So on and so forth. So I think these things in and of themselves aren't wrong. It's just when these things become the thing, and you lose sight on the soul of what a local church is supposed to be. And this is, and this might, get awkward, I think this is where these things overlap between selling a product and being a local nonprofit organization, a ministry that's there to minister to people. When these things kind of get fuzzy and you start looking at it like ROIs and spreadsheets and massive staffs with 600, 700, 800 people that are doing the work, you got to make payroll for, it can get really weird, man. And so I don't have an issue with the size of any church. I don't think that's the conversation we're having. I think the issue is how these things are structured. What is the things that are driving people there? And I want to hear from you guys. What do you guys think? Are you a part of a mega church that you found community and discipleship through? What are some of those names of those mega churches? Are you a part of a mini mega church, or are you a part of a very small, tight-knit church? Let me know in the comment section below. And if you didn't know, we have a whole new channel that we recently launched.
Alright, so that's that video. Yeah, I pretty much already told you guys I don't really care for mega churches. But if you happen to frequent one and it does for you exactly what you want and you feel closer to Christ and you actually read the Bible and you feel like you're in a community, that's all that really matters at the end of the day. Because, like, we all aren't going to like the same things. But as long as it works and it does what it's supposed to do, that's all that really matters. But with that being said, if you guys want to see me react to more videos like this, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell because I drop videos every single day. I try to do 2 to 3 every day. If I don't, I will let you guys know on my social media, and those links are in the description box down below. So until next time, you already know who it is. It's Sang.